The 9 biggest hypocrisies in nutrition and fitness. Things that really make you kind of scratch your head and say, wait a minute, how is that so? Some of them we're guilty of. The language that we use, what we use to make excuses. Some things are related to the food industry and the lies that they kind of spew out there sometimes. Because come on, it happens. So I'm going to jump right into the first one. Let's have some fun with this one. How come it is that foods with like 37 different ingredients cost more money than foods with 1? Why can we go to the grocery store and grab a fluorescent box of gobbledygook with 37 ingredients, and why is that cheaper than a bouquet of romaine lettuce or, I don't know, a bucket of ground beef? Doesn't make any sense. Even if it has those same ingredients in it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. How come something that contains milk is going to be so much cheaper than milk itself? The whole ingredient doesn't have to go through like less rigmarole. I mean, I'm sure we can make the argument on things being shelf stable and, making them last longer on the shelf, so you're reducing shrink, so therefore the products are cheaper. But when we get down to the true brass tacks of it, it's quite hypocritical, isn't it? For us to say that, well, it's so expensive to eat healthy, when in reality, like if you just cut out all the nonsense, like things should be cheaper. It should be cheaper to eat healthy. The next one is sort of a lie that we tell ourselves. And this might hurt your feelings because you might be guilty of it, but you probably more so know somebody that does this. And you want to shake them sometimes, but you just can't say it to them because it'd be rude and it's not nice to belittle people and all that stuff. But that's the fact that how come it's so that we don't have time to work out, but we have perfect amounts of time to go out for a drink or to go out to dinner. We can go grab a cocktail with friends on a Friday night, but we're too exhausted and don't have enough time to work out for 30 minutes in the garage or ride the bike or go for a walk around the block. Priorities. My dad, before he passed away, had always told me that life is simply about having your priorities in order. It's that simple. It really is. The grass isn't greener on the other side, it's greener where you water it. And I know that's nothing revolutionary to share, but it's quite important to remember. Number 3, there's people out there that still say that nutrient density doesn't matter. It's all about macronutrients. It's nutrient density? Nah, that's just the health gurus that are trying to get you to eat close to the earth and trying to get you to eat wholesome food. It's this naturalistic movement that, it's not about nutrient density, it's just about getting adequate macronutrients. Yet at the same time, we purport mechanisms that come from various nutrients. A lot of our pharmaceuticals are made from nutrients, from polyphenols or compounds that are in our food. Have you ever heard of literally plant medicine before? Like, it's where a lot of things were stemmed from. And we're gonna try to pretend that that doesn't matter, that if we just eat a bunch of processed food, we're gonna magically get what we need and that nutrient density doesn't matter? Come on, get real there. That is super hypocritical. This next one's kind of funny. There are people out there that say the time that we eat, the time of day that we eat, doesn't matter. It doesn't have any influence. It's only calories. Okay, I could believe that, except there's a couple obvious things. We complain about jet lag. We all recognize that jet lag is real. Well, what is jet lag? It's a disruption of our circadian cues where our environment doesn't match our internal biology. We end up in a different area of the world when it's nighttime and our body thinks it's daytime, or it's daytime and our body thinks it's nighttime. So guess what? We feel weird. We feel tired, even if we're well rested. Why? Because every internal sense in our body is saying, hey, bro, you're supposed to be asleep right now. Circadian biology is real. Why would it make sense that it doesn't matter when we eat or it doesn't matter when we do certain things? Clearly, there is a circadian biology that matters. Yet we choose to ignore it when it comes down to creating content or bashing people or being controversial or being tribal or just being a flat out jerk. But when it's convenient for you, it works fine, right? You can just be like, well, I'm jet lagged. No, I thought it doesn't matter. So you should be able to fly to Europe, no problem, jump off that plane and work out just as hard as everybody else, because circadian biology doesn't matter, timing doesn't matter. Before I get further into the next one and get even more heated, I want to share with you a product that I've been using that I highly recommend if you like protein powder. Bomar Nutrition's whey protein powder is literally the best tasting protein powder I have ever had. And I am not lying, that is no exaggeration. Scout's honor, it is the best tasting stuff. Their strawberry milkshake flavor is unreal. They have no more sucralose, nothing like that in there anymore. I talked with Josh Bomar, the owner of Bomar Fitness, and I was like, I love your products. We gotta find a way to get this stuff out of there. So now they're sweetened with stevia. There's nothing weird, no additives, no artificial garbage. Sweetened with stevia, and the stuff tastes even better than it did before. They've got cookies and cream, they've got banana cream, they've got chocolate milkshake, strawberry milkshake, vanilla cream. The flavors are endless and their ingredient profile is top notch. So I put a link down below so you can get a special discount on it. That is special pricing only for people that watch my videos. And a hot tip, if you want to mix this stuff with some Greek yogurt, it is absolutely as close as you're going to get to ice cream without having ice cream, at least in my opinion. So that link is down below. Not only do you support this channel and keep this kind of content going by supporting my sponsors, but I promise to you, I'm always sharing products that I use. I do not promote something on my channel that I don't use. And this is protein powder that I use just about every day and I travel with whenever I'm going somewhere because I'm addicted to it because it's so dang tasty. So that link is down below. The next hypocrisy. Sugar is totally fine for you. Our body is designed to handle glucose. That's not a problem. Fat is the problem. There's two problems to this whole scenario. Number one is sugar is not fine, especially in extreme amounts. Sugar from fruit, sure, that's carbohydrates our body can use. Sugar from table sugar in a bag, yeah, our body can use it. It's still just glucose and fructose in a sucrose combination. Okay, but it's bleached, it's adulterated, it's beat up. It's too much for our body to handle in one sitting if you're taking in a bunch. Okay, I understand the whole moderation thing, but I'm not upset about people saying sugar is okay. I am known to have some sugar now and then. I have a sweet tooth. I'll eat ice cream. I like sugar, okay? I really like fruit and I eat a lot of fruit. But what I have a problem with is turning the tables and saying fat is bad. Okay, being able to say that sugar is fine is not addressing the wide spectrum and glycemic scale of sugars and starches and fiber and all this. Just like saying fat is bad is problematic because we have a whole plethora of fats ranging from myristic acid to stearic acid to monounsaturated fatty acids to polyunsaturated fatty acids to oleic acid to you name it, right? It goes on and on and on. On the contrary, people saying that fat is totally fine and sugar is the problem. See how I did that? I flipped it around because that's a problem too. It's still hypocritical and it's a double-edged sword. Fat can be problematic just as much as sugar can be problematic. As a matter of fact, if you go to get tested for a fatty liver, or if you go and you look at your different levels of insulin resistance, your HOMA-IR versus your lipid-IR, you're looking at literally insulin resistance that is triggered from your HbA1c, from your glycolated hemoglobin, and from your sugar versus lipid-induced. They literally have testing for that. I hate to break it to you, but fats can also trigger insulin resistance as well because you're impeding actions by having so much fat coming in. Does that mean ditch the fats? No, it means any one extreme can be problematic. And that doesn't mean that a low carb diet's bad because you're high fat. It does come down to the types of fats. I'm not gonna go into detail in this video because it doesn't make sense, but the bottom line is try to limit your ratio of saturated fat to other fats. Don't be 80% saturated fat and 20% other fats. Bring that number down a little bit, try to get balance, just like you wouldn't have 90% sugar and 10% sweet potatoes, right? The next one, this one really gets me, this hypocrisy. Fasting is extreme and doesn't work. but caloric restriction is what works. Calories in versus calories out. I guess that's not even hypocritical. It's just paradoxical and makes no sense to say that one doesn't work or the other does. Fasting, although may have some purported benefits independent of caloric restriction, like time and circadian biology and this and that, last time I checked, when you're fasting, you're not eating. Last time I checked, not eating is a form of caloric restriction. Last time I checked, you can still get a lot of benefit, if not just as much, possibly more, by losing weight fast, as long as you're doing it in a healthy way. So do I suggest fasting for 7 days? Well, not necessarily if body composition is your goal, but fasting is a means of caloric restriction. So to fight that calories in, calories out is what it's all about, but then take a complete crap on fasting is hypocritical. It is. Otherwise, your excuse is that you're attacking someone for their desire to do something a specific way. And that is just low. Because if Bob wants to lose weight and calorically restrict via fasting, and Mary wants to lose weight via traditional caloric restriction, and you're going to get mad at Bob for fasting, that's just attacking him as a person. Because last time I checked, you're really getting there via very similar mechanisms. Number 8, it's so expensive to eat healthy. Proceeds to spend $16 at Del Taco. Proceeds to spend $19 at Jack in the Box. I will tell you what, I understand, okay? I know that I'm not broke. I get it, okay? But I did come from nothing. And I did live on anchovies and sardines for quite a while. And I will tell you, the nutrient profile of some nuts and some sardines and some spirulina goes a long way, because I've done it. It's not the sexiest thing in the world, but you know what else isn't sexy? Hiding in your car, eating Jack in the Box like I used to do too. So I know that this might be hard to hear, and I know that there are a lot of different sides of this that can be frustrating. And I'm not trying to put someone down, but trust me, you can make choices that are cheap and healthy. You just have to have it ready up here. And trust me, it'll all fall into place. The 9th one, that is the biggest hypocrisy of all. Huge one. It makes no sense. Turkey bacon. You want bacon or you want turkey? Like, if you want bacon, eat bacon. What the heck is this? Just eat turkey then. Like, why are we doing turkey bacon? Just don't eat the bacon if you don't want the bacon. Or don't eat the turkey if you don't want the turkey, but make up your mind. I'll see you tomorrow.